19-day-long assembly session ends today. Government passed 14 bills on the last day. Former Telecom Minister and DMK leader Dyanidhi Maran is questioned by the CBI in the 2G scam. Tamil Nadu Assembly passes a bill making way for levying 25% tax on IPL matches and 30% on DTH services. While train services limp back to normalcy, the train driver who reportedly caused the collision is in a critical condition. Tamil Nadu Assembly expresses condolence for victims of the Arakonam train mishap that left 9 dead. A number of trains are rescheduled, throwing travel plans out of gear. Justice Sampath has been appointed to probe the police firing in Paramakudi on September 11. Hello and welcome to this bulletin. First, a look at the headlines of what's happening across the country. After outrage over the paltry reward of 25,000 rupees each, Sports Minister announces 1.5 lakh reward for each player of the hockey team. Indian groups could be behind the recent attacks in India, says the Home Minister, says cross-border terrorism alone isn't to blame. A fresh case is filed in the game. Scam chairs worth 1,800 were bought for 17,000 rupees each for the Siri Fort Stadium. Swami Agnivesh was too close to certain ministers in the UPA, so for now he is no longer part of my team, Anna Hazare tells NDTV. Now, the Tamil Nadu government is levying entertainment tax on DTH services and cricket tournaments conducted by the Indian Premier League. DTH providers will have to pay as tax 30% of the charges they collect from customers, excluding service tax. The IPL will have to pay 25% of the money they pay the State Cricket Board as admission fee to conduct the matches. This takes place with immediate effect. It may be recalled that the state government rolled out its Arasu Cable Corporation on September 2nd, widely touted as an affordable alternative for the common man, while the DTH is assumed to be patronized by only the well-to-do and the creme de la creme of society. The decision to tax IPL tournaments may end up in costing the cricket fan a little more ultimately, but the IPL has been a popular event here for obvious reasons. The Chennai Super Kings are the champions. Reacting to demands of a few MLAs, the Tamil Nadu government, in an amendment to the Tamil Nadu Payment of Salaries Act passed in 1951, has announced an increase in their salaries. MLAs will now get anywhere between 50,000 to 55,000 rupees a month. Ministers, leaders and speakers will also get a hike, so they will receive anywhere between 27,000 to 32,000 rupees. MLA's pension too is expected to increase. Now, all of this will cost the exchequer 4.2 crores and will be taken from the consolidated fund of the state. The Tamil Nadu government has appointed retired High Court Judge K. Sampath to inquire into the violence in which 7 people were killed at Paramakudi a few days ago. Violence erupted after the arrest of John Pandian, who was prevented from reaching Paramakudi to take part in the death anniversary of Emmanuel Sekaran, a Dalit leader. The inquiry commission will go into the causes and circumstances leading to the opening of fire, resulting in death and injuries during the violence. The commission will also probe whether all formalities were followed before resorting to firing. The commission is expected to complete the inquiry and submit the report to the state government in 2 months. News from the Tamil Nadu Assembly now. The state government has announced labour SOPs. The employment exchange buildings in 10 districts including Tanjavur, Thoothukudi and Kadalur will be renovated at a cost of 15 crore rupees. People who now want to apply for jobs need not go directly to the employment exchange. An online job portal will be set up where people can register. HR executives of private companies can access the posted profiles. There will also be a special placement assistance cell set up to help students to get jobs in private sector companies. Biometric ID cards will be issued to the unorganized sector. Registered labourers in the unorganized sector who were getting a pension of 500 rupees a month will now get 1,000 rupees a month. In a bid to discourage child labour, parents of children will get 500 rupees a month till their children complete their higher education. Jiva Labourers Institute will get new guest houses at a cost of 30 lakh rupees for trade union workers and leaders in DMS. In a bid to promote better safety precautions in companies, the state has announced state safety awards ranging from 2,500 to 5,000 rupees. Now let's look at some statistics pertaining to 19 days in the Tamil Nadu Assembly. 177 hours of arguments overall, with the opposition speaking for 36 hours. The first time the opposition has spoken for so long in the state. Also, this is the first time the Chief Minister attended every session. On 2 days, the Assembly session went on for more than 8 hours. 54 demands were heard over 19 days. 23 bills were passed, with 14 bills passed just today. Hansraj Saxena, who was Sun Pictures COO when he was arrested, has been released on bail. Saxena was behind bars for 2 months on charges of cheating and criminal intimidation. Now, for the first time, former telecom minister and DMK leader Dayanidhi Maran has been questioned by the CBI in the 2G scam. Sources say that he was questioned today for over 5 hours, where he denied all allegations that he intimidated Aircel into selling its stake. His brother Kalanidhi Maran was also questioned on Monday. Both brothers We are now joined by Sunetra, who's been tracking this case very closely. Sunetra, thank you for joining us. Now, we know that this is the first time Dayanidhi Maran has been quizzed by the CBI. What update can you give us at this point in time?
Well, what we do know is that Dayanidhi Maran's questioning took place today. The CBI called him and he came and was questioned for over 5 hours. His brother, Kalanidhi Maran, owner of Sun TV, who has also allegations pending in the same case, was questioned on Monday, also in Delhi. What we know from the questioning is that he was, of course, asked about his tenure, 2004-2007. That's actually part of a preliminary investigation that the CBI is doing into the entire 2G spectrum allocation during 2001 to 2007. It's not an FIR yet. CBI hasn't even said there's any criminal culpability yet. But the charges against Dayanidhi Maran, former telecom minister, are quite serious. He faces allegations of having purposely delaying Aircel's license, 2G license, and only granting it once Aircel changed ownership and was sold to Maxis. And so Shiva Shankaran, the owner of Aircel, founder owner of Aircel, has alleged that he was forced to sell his stake, and the quid pro quo, he's accused of then investing Maxis' sister group, then invested 800 crores into Kalanidhi Maran's Sun TV. So the allegation is of quid pro quo against Dayanidhi Maran, that he forced him to sell it, and only after he sold it, he gave the 2G license, and in return, he got an investment for his brother's thing. This is something that Dayanidhi Maran has been denying right from day one since these allegations surfaced. But this is what he also said in his police statement, the 161 statement, which was recorded today and on Monday. They both denied that. What the CBI think? Well, CBI says they will study the statement. However, they've already told the Supreme Court they haven't found any evidence of coercion. However, they have said that just by looking at and studying the way the licenses were given, there were delays in giving the Aircel license. Now, was it valid or not? Was it legitimate or not? That's something that's part of the investigation.
Now, Sunetra, what do you think will be the ramifications of what's been found out today?
Well, the questioning, basically, we have to wait and see if the CBI, it's not known till now whether they'll be questioned again or not. At the moment, it seems that both brothers, former telecom minister Dayanidhi Maran, has stood his ground. And till now, there's nothing to worry for him, because the CBI, if they found anything, they would have told the Supreme Court, which is a monitoring body. They would have put it on record. They haven't put anything on record yet. What is the only thing worrying for them is that CBI says that there were delays. In fact, there were about delays up to 2 years in granting. In other cases, where there are other companies like Vodafone, the 2G license was given in just a matter of months. Whereas if you go by the dates, there were delays in in giving a license to Aircel. So Dayanidhi Maran has to prove to CBI, he has to show evidence that those delays were legitimate, that he had asked for legitimate queries and he hadn't purposely sat on these. And the CBI, for now, they're saying that they've got everything. They've also questioned Max's officials earlier in the week. We just have to wait and see whether the CBI finds any kind of merit in the allegations against him or not. Our source is telling us that by the end of the month, they should be finalizing this investigation.
Thank you, Sunetra. Thank you very much for that very detailed update. Stay tuned. More news and stories coming up after a short break.